Hello, my name is Jason Abney, and I'm here to present you a presentation on online assessments. Most people may not know what online assessments is, so before I get started, I just want to say that it's basically an online test that's administered via a computer. That's what an online assessment is. First thing I want to start with is, did you know that you could take a computer-based test from the comfort of your home while in pajamas at midnight on an iPad, I might add? Most people would be surprised to hear that that's actually possible, and I'm here to tell you that it is. One of the things that I'm going to go through in this presentation here is that research suggests that online testing is the best delivery method for assessments because it provides a flexible environment that's easily accessible and provides instant gratification, which in turn increases student engagement. Online testing is the best delivery method for assessments, the absolute best, because it provides a flexible environment that's easily accessible. It provides instant gratification, which in turn increases student engagement. This is not opinion, as you'll see once I get to some of my visual aids. These are things that have been proven over the last decade or so. From where we were 10 years ago to where we are now is a dramatic difference. One of the first things that I want to say is that online testing, it allows test takers like you, like myself, like any of us, an opportunity to develop more technical skills. It's also a focus of the Common Core State Standards that everyone has to abide by. And as you'll see, as I move forward in my slide presentation here, in 2003, this was a state map. As you'll notice, there's only 13 states 10 years ago that were doing computer-based state tests. Yes, 13, 10 years ago. We have advanced quite a lot since then. One of the things is these technical skills that you develop by taking these tests, they not only help the students, it also helps the graders of the tests. The involvement of the computers for assessments, it aids to better accuracy, it eliminates hand scoring errors. That's one of the most awesome things, to be quite honest. Anytime you can eliminate an error is absolutely a great thing. I think everyone would be in agreement on that. Another thing is online testing eliminates storage of paper-based tests at locations, which in turn is going to help prevent copies being made where tests might leak to someone else, and it's also going to avoid it being dispersed to unauthorized parties. This is going to help make testing security easier. With assessments being conducted online, it also saves physical space. Although I'm also giving this presentation and to give you a little bit of my background, I'm a network coordinator for a pretty large school system. We have about 18,000 kids, and I'm also the testing coordinator. So I set up the actual online testing for all of the children. Quite honestly, I set up the caching servers, I coordinate the tests, make sure the kids are loaded properly. There's various things that I do, but we don't really need to get into that. But one of the things that we've seen in my district is that switching to online has allowed us a lot more flexibility. From a school system perspective, as far as the employees, we're able to deliver a test where we don't have to have these locked rooms that no one can get access to, that has stacks and stacks of paper stacked everywhere. It's just a much more easier process to go through. We don't have to worry about the paper. We don't have to worry about printing these sheets. We don't have to worry about killing trees. We don't have to worry about the ink. It's just a much more seamless process. And you'll see on the next slide that I have coming up, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but as I said, this was in 2003. In 2011, another slide was done, or another study was done, I should say, and it shows where we've progressed from where we were. And it shows that at this point in 2011, there were 44 states out of the 50 states that have basically set up computer-based testing initiatives. And I'll go ahead to the next slide so you can see. So now you see where we were, and this is where we were in 2011. As you can see here, every state that is a color essentially, so whether it's green or black, that means that you're either a PARC member or you're an SBAC member. Each state had the option to adopt whatever type of testing they wanted for K through 12. You didn't have to go with PARC, you could go with SBAC, and states were able to choose whatever they wanted. Some states chose to be members of both. So those are the states that you see black. So they're testing for the PARC test and the SBAC test. And then you have some states that are, unfortunately, not a part of it. And these are the states that we got to write some letters to and get them on board. It's obvious by looking at this consortium that the vast majority, as I said, 44 states in 2011 were on board with some sort of computer-based testing initiative. And we really need to increase that to get that to be all 50. You know, we're a United States, we might as well be united on testing as well. You know, and there's just a lot of benefits for us all doing the same thing, especially because there's so many benefits. The fact that you can test anywhere, the fact that you're giving skills to children, to students, to whoever that they're going to need. We live in an information age. For us to live in an information age and not test using information and not test using technology, it just doesn't make sense, because how else are you preparing for the world that you're going to be living in? So with that said, we've discussed why online testing is the best delivery method for online testing. What I want to do now is I want to move into why online testing provides instant gratification, which in turn increases student engagement. I can say firsthand, I've been in the IT field now for 15 years. I've taken about probably 15 IT certification tests. There is nothing better than taking a test and finding out right then and there, yes, I passed. All the work that I did, everything I put into it, I see it, I feel it, I have that rush of adrenaline, like I did it. There's nothing like that feeling. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one that feels that's awesome to have that rush that you get. And I want more people to be able to experience that. Paper tests were great in their days. I grew up taking paper tests before I advanced into this information age with my trusty number 2 pencil. But at the same time, then you got to go home and you're like, oh, I think I did good. I hope I did good. I get home, my mom be like, hey, how you do? Well, I think I did okay on the test, but I don't really know. We got to wait the 6 to 8 weeks for the Scantron to, go through its process and see how my bubble sheet was filled in. And then what if my bubble wasn't filled in the right way? So many variables that can go wrong. And in my instant gratification, it was going, But online testing brings that to the forefront where there's no doubt in your mind. You know what you did. You know what you got. And I just want to tell you a quick story. I took a CISSP test, and I waited because previously you could only take it on paper and pencil, and this is a 6-hour test. I personally could not take a 6-hour test and not know if I passed. I just couldn't do it. In April of last year, I believe, they initiated a computer-based test where that way you found out immediately if you passed. I was one of the first people to sign up for it because it gave me that instant gratification. That way I knew, okay, I passed, or okay, I failed and I need to redo it again. Luckily I passed, so I was able to get my instant gratification. But even if I didn't pass, I still would have known what my results were, which then would have helped me knowing going forward, like whether I need to study on this particular area that I just recall taking and I knew I did horrible in it. So I know that my study aids didn't help in that manner. Or I did great in these domains and I need to focus on these other domains. So either way, it gives you feedback that's going to help you, for anyone, quite honestly. Another thing is online assessments also align you better with your familiarities. Everyone at this point has an Android tablet, an iPad, a smartphone, or whatever. And you're used to flicking things over, you're used to using the mouse, you're used to the technology. And this is the perfect integration of the two. With being able to use the skills that you're using every day when you're banging out these text messages on your smartphones, or using your iPad, or surfing the net, or using whatever it is that you do technology wise. Testing allows us to use those inherent skills that we've built up over the last decade or so in a testing environment, in a real world environment, and this is what we need going forward. And I think that we need to make it so that all tests are online. And to get back to this visual aid here, as I said, in 2011, we had 44 states that had signed on to the consortium. This is where we are in 2014. Still at 44. Now, 44 is a great number. It's an even number. That's always good. However, we still have these outliers. If you get in here real close with me, you'll see we have Alaska, we have Texas, we have Virginia, we have South Carolina, who was in and backed out, and kind of in, kind of out. They weren't really sure. We have Indiana, and we have Nebraska, and they haven't adopted this, and I'm concerned, and I don't know why they haven't. There's nothing better, like as we've discussed, getting that instant gratification, knowing that you've done well. It makes it easier for the school system. We're killing less trees. We're utilizing the technology. I really can't think of any reason why we shouldn't be doing this. So I'm hoping that from this presentation today, with our discussion, we've discussed why research suggests that online testing is the best delivery method for assessments, because it provides a flexible environment that's easily accessible and provides instant gratification, which in turn increases student engagement. Online testing is the best, the absolute best delivery method for assessments, because it provides that flexible environment that's easily accessible. I could pick up my cell phone right now, log into something, and take a test. How awesome is that? This is what we're about. And we need to make it so that everyone can do that. It just provides that instant gratification as well, which is going to increase student engagement. It's going to make people want to take tests, want to know, I did good or I did bad. What can I change? What can I do better? Or just give myself a pat on the back because I did it. I knocked it out the park. And that's really what we want to do. And now that we've discussed online testing and how it benefits everyone, how it benefits the economy with us killing less trees, using less ink, all of those things, who's with me to write these letters and get to these 6 states in America to get them to switch to online assessments?